Pistons fans, what up, man? So we just had our third preseason game last night, man. Against OKC Thunder, another team in the rebuild process. They looking like and seeming like they're gonna want to get into them Victor sweepstakes because they really about that tank life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame them. If you're gonna tank hard. You got the picks and you rebuild your team. Go hard at it. Don't half step it. Don't half tank. Don't half. You know what I'm saying? Step it. Go ahead and get your issue, man, and try to get the best talent coming into the league. Set you up for the future, man. We seen it before in the past, man. They had Russ, James Harden, KD, and the whole shebang, and had a little thing going for a little while, but I digress. Let's get into the game, man. Last night, man, I thought we played a pretty good game, man. We got to see some different looks. Obviously, the elephant in the room, Marvin Bagley goes down, knee injury. We wishing him a speedy recovery. We don't want to see anybody getting hurt, whether you like the player, you don't like the player. As far as their game, it shouldn't be nothing personal. But, yeah, we don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially on our team going down. We want to be full strength coming in there because everybody has a role and a part to play in what we're trying to do in our growth process. So, we're wishing Marvin Bagley a speedy recovery, man, and all the best, man. But besides that, man, we got to see the lineup a lot of people been clamoring for, been wanting to see, with Durant out there at the center, Stu at the 4, because Stewart's worked on his game, and he's trying to become a stretch 4, which I believe that he can definitely do. I love his size at the 4 and his defensive intensity and his motor, there at the 4. And having he may not be the flashiest. He's not the Kevin Durant or the Giannis type 4 where he's going to, be taking you off the dribble, although he probably can add some under the basket moves and things to his game. But I like the size and the defensive intensity that he's going to bring you at that position. And if he can just, pop, make a couple plays, and do his thing there, we have enough of talent around him to support him at the 4. But with Durant at the center, man, it opens up so much stuff for Stu to be versatile on the defensive end, to do more things, to not be bogged down trying to be a undersized, non-athletic center. Having Durant down there, this makes it that much easier for him. And, Durant, he got a lot of ways to go as far as IQ and sharpening up his moves and his game and knowing when to go or whatever. But the energy that he plays with, the willingness to go out there and rebound, bang, he's going to have some rookie woes, especially being a big man, because, they trying to take away that they don't want it to be a big man's league like that anymore. So, it's going to be a little tougher on Durant, but you can see his strength alone. He's a strong dude out there. He's ready to just bump and just give me that board, give me that rebound. He knows for the ball, he's going for it. So that, him being able to extend the plays for us and just get the boards and do the cleanup and the dirty work down there, you know what I'm saying? And it helps out other players to be able to do other stuff, man. It comes together, and I love it, you know what I'm saying? Now, me, I was of the mindset, hey, if we want to bring Durant and Stu on slowly at the 4, let Bojan start at the 4 and Noel start at the center at the beginning of the season and slowly work those guys in. And we're going to need those guys because, hey, over the course of the season, a lot of things can happen, injuries and everything. And we don't want to just run Durant to the ground, you know what I'm saying, in his rookie season. And we know Stu can hold up, but he's going to need to get comfortable being at that 4, knowing when to pop, knowing how to make plays out of that position. But to me, I love it. I love the versatility and what it brings for us. If he can consistently get that shot and knock that shot down. Another player, Bay, you know what I'm saying? and we see Bay, he's getting into his rhythm, man. I believe Bay's going to have a breakout season, man. He's going to have a breakout season. And a big part of it, too, is he knows that boy Livers is coming. Livers is looking for a spot in that starting lineup. So, but Bay, he done put in the work, man. He's super strong. That shot's looking good. The confidence is there. Is this, knocking the cobwebs off from the off season, and Bay's looking good, man. I like what I'm seeing for Bay. He just continue to just be consistent, make smart plays, make smart moves, and just be consistent. Let's go on to Ivy, Jaden Ivy, man. The thing, and we had a lot of Keegan Murray lovers out there, and Keegan Murray's great. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like a lot of these young kids that are coming in this draft are going to be pretty good and pretty decent. Keegan Murray's a great player. But the one thing that we were claiming for, that we said that us that know basketball, that was looking at Ivy when guys were trying to compare him to Westbrook and saying, no, I don't want Ivy, he's Westbrook. Ivy can't shoot. Ivy's going to turn over the ball. Ivy this, Ivy that, Ivy that. Ivy's a superstar, man. Ivy he's showing us time and time again, even if the stats don't show it all the time, that he can just do whatever he wants out there. He adds flair and pop to the game. He makes people want to look and say, who? And that translates to winning. If you don't think so, look at Ja Morant. When we were comparing him to Ja Morant, and people were saying, he's not Ja Morant, bro. They was doing a whole lot of training together. I believe Ivy's mom was Morant's coach. So, you know what I'm saying? The boy is special. His athleticism alone gives him a certain level of confidence. And now he's seeing that, hey, my athleticism, I'm on the NBA court, and I'm still faster than you guys, on the NBA court. I can still get where I want to, get up when I want to. He got a couple crazy blocks, like, you know what I'm saying? He can do things on the court that can't nobody else do, and he's on the court with the best athletes in the world. So it's bringing him confidence, and when you're that fast, because speed kills. When you're that fast and you just work on your game and your craft, the game will eventually slow down. All that Westbrook hate that be out there, man. A lot of that stuff is overinflated because you know who he plays with and the situation that he's in. They're gonna throw you under the bus and make you seem like a whole nother player that you ain't. And it, to me, is very unfair. You're trying to make Westbrook seem like he can't even get on the court with motherfuckers in high school. You know what I'm saying? The way they try to talk about Westbrook and dog him. But Ivy, man, the boy's special. His game is special. I love what he adds to the team. I love he can just, if the play breaks down, he can just go out there and make something happen. He can pick it up. He can get in the lane. He can just make it happen. Which brings me to my next point, and another thing that I had said in my last video. Cade Cunningham. I believe the weight that he put on, he's kind of trying to figuring out that weight that he put on. But also another thing with Cade, I think he's it's one of those things like Cade knows mentally, like, hey, I'm probably better than everybody on the court. It's just preseason. So it's kind of taking it lackadaisical, kind of having that, like, maybe possibly that, like, ego, like, I'm going to just take my time. I'm going to let people kind of do their thing and take my time. I don't want to go too hard because none of this really counts anyway. So it's kind of taking its time. But what it ends up doing is it starts reflecting in your game and in your percentages. It's like, okay, you're not fully dialed in the way you need to be. So when you think you can just hit that shot that you normally would just hit, the focus ain't there and it just ain't falling for you. And I think that's what it's more of a mental thing what's going on with Cat, because he's just probably ready for the season to start. And then it's also adjusting, to his body, to, putting on that weight. And another big thing that you notice about Cade, and I haven't heard nobody talk about this, but I'm going to speak on it. Cade is a bigger dude. He's a bigger dude, similar to Luka. Similar, think about LeBron. they don't take threes right there with their toes on the three-point line. And Cade keeps trying to do that, and the shots are looking long and flat. And I think for Cade, this the strength that he's putting on. He has real big hands. He might need to step back a foot or two behind that three-point line and start getting them up, because he needs to get more air on his shot. His shots are long. He just, the NBA three, it might seem long to us, you know what I'm saying, to regular individuals, but when you're, a 6'6", 220 guard, you know what I'm saying, huge hands, like, NBA three-point line is just a little too close for you sometimes. He probably needs to step back and then start working his way in, find that range, and just find his range, because it seems like he's just like a little too strong, in his shot. Like his shot's just coming off a little too strong, and sometimes it comes off a little flat, like he's trying to just line it in there. But I believe Cade, man, he's gonna figure that out. He's gonna figure out the shot and all that, especially when the season starts and the game's on the line, and they start counting and they start mattering. He's gonna get out the funk, because you got to remember, Cade earned his spot last year. He's not coming into this season like, okay, I got something to prove, obviously, to the team. Like Killian, if we're going to get to Killian, he took a step back last year, so he had to put in work. So now, even this preseason, all this matters to Killian. He needs it. So you see the difference in the focus, and why, some players might thrive and some players might be, okay, I got mine. I'm waiting for the season to go. So, yeah. Another thing with Cade, like I wanted to say, as far as his attacking of the basket, and like I said, I feel like he's not really going too hard. He's not turning the corner too hard. A lot of times it's looking like, man, Cade, you can just take this dude, get in the lane, and go do your thing and be downhill. But, he's just playing the everybody game. He's trying to let everybody get their touches. A lot of times he's trying to lob the ball in the stool and do little things where they just picking the ball off, because, you're just throwing lackadaisical passes, entry passes. And I think a lot of that, too, a big part of that has to do with the offense that Dwayne Casey's running. And, Dwayne Casey, great mentor, great guy, but I just don't think that he's the long-term coach for our team going forward. I think he's great in, a teacher and how to be a professional to the game. You know what I'm saying? He has that, you're going to come in, you're going to be dressed correctly, clean. He ain't gonna let the players talk crazy. They're going to respect him, this age alone, everything. You're going to respect him more than you might respect like a younger coach. So, Dwayne Casey, he demands a certain level of respect and professionalism, and that's understandable, and that's that character that, this foundation needs for the future. But as far as the X's and O's, I believe the X's and O's and what we're doing, we're going to need a new coach to come in to give the guys that. But I understand what Weaver wants. He wants these guys to build the right character for the new coach, so the new coach ain't coming in trying to, get a bunch of guys wilding out in line. They already sharpened up and in line. So, but yeah, the offense that we running, and I understand we're trying things, but the offense is just kind of like, with our talent, we need to be getting Cade and Ivy back to back, downhill, getting shots up for Sadiq and Stu from three, getting some lobs going. We just need it to flow a little faster, and we need it to pop a little faster. We need a mix of some things going on. Now on to Killian. Like I said with Killian, man, you can tell he put in the work. You can tell that confidence that we've been talking about. Like, hey man, we want to see some confidence. We want to see you go out there and do your thing. Killian did his thing last night, so we're gonna give him his flowers for him last night. He did his thing. But some guys, they see one guy with Killian and get high on a horse. See, I told you. You just had to give him time. Like, okay, cool. But we're playing against the OKC Thunder. You know what I'm saying? He had his best game against the OKC Thunder last year. So, sometimes player, this might have a team number, but nevertheless, Killian did his thing. We're proud of him. We like to see the improvement and growth. The shot's looking good. He's looking like he put in the work. Now let's just see him carry that throughout the season. And if it pans out, I mean, I'm not too much of a fan of a 3-guard lineup, in a start lineup, but it's an option that we'll have. It's an option that we'll have, but to me, we're gonna be looking like we got a lot of guys to pay, coming up and making decisions on guys and stuff. So we just want to make sure that we do this right. We don't overpay for certain guys. If Killian stands out enough to be like, okay, well, maybe we don't keep you, but we use you as a trade to get somebody else that we feel like will fit better around Cade and Ivy. We do that, but we working with house money, with Killian. I feel like we're in a good position. We're in a very, very good position, and we were still missing a lot of our veterans, a lot of our guys. We were shorthanded last night, which is fine. I'm gonna be ecstatic when the McGriddles and the Corey Josephs and those guys is going off the team, but it's just part of the process. They played pretty well last night. Don't really care to see them out there, but hey, it is what it is. We need bodies. They provide bodies, so we ain't got guys out there going down left and right. But yeah, man. Other than that, man, I believe we played a pretty decent game. Short-handed. Guys still learning the offense. Rookies. We got rookies out there. And the one thing about that OKC team, and announcers were saying it, like, man, they shoot that ball really good. They shoot that ball really good, and they got a couple guys that look good over there. The Dang guy, he's like 6'10", he was handling the ball. He looks nice. And then when they get freaking Chet back, and then they got that whatever dude last name start with a P or whatever, like a Russian kid or something, like about 7 foot. Man, but it's good to see. The thing about it is, it's good to see the Pistons and OKCs going at it right now, because we're the teams that's, when we look 5 to 10 years down, we're the teams that's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And these other teams is kind of going to be out the way. You know what I'm saying? So we're gauging it, and like I said, they're tanking hard. We kind of did a little halfway tank a couple years, but I believe Weaver, he ain't going to sleep on this draft class. And he understands it. Like, man, we still got to add some more top-level talent. Don't get too, stuck in, with what we have. We have some pieces that we're like, hey, this can be future, and definitely in some of the guys we got, but it don't hurt to add more. It definitely don't hurt to add more, because the way it's looking, with the Orlandos and the OKCs and some of these teams, man, even San Antonio coming up here, man, and the amount of picks that these teams been acquiring, man, they trying to have some stuff for some years to come, man. They're trying to have some stuff for some years to come. So we gotta always, Troy Weaver, he's gonna be every year, man. He's gonna always have to be on it, because you don't want to get complacent and feel like you got enough when teams is just adding more. The way these young guys is coming out, man, they looking mighty talented, because basketball is just bigger, and guys is playing the game year round from 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, man, we looking pretty good, man. I really can't wait for the season so we can start really breaking down like the offense and the things that we're doing out there. But just touching on what I've seen from certain players and the demeanor and what I've seen from guys, man, we're looking good. I believe we're a strong team. We're a very strong team. You know, similar to how Boston is. We're a strong team. We're going to be a strong physical team for sure. You know, so. But yeah, man, you guys let me know what you think about the game, man. Leave it in the comments, man, and I'll check them out. Be sure to get back to everybody. Appreciate it.